it's really easy to paint the record label as the bad guy every time. And it's really easy to say, oh, I shouldn't have taken the $1 million advance when you already took it, when you've already got all of the benefits of the record label working for you. Take it with a grain of salt, you know?
I mean, yeah, that's what I was about to say for this too. The way she ends it, like the situation she's describing here is something that I would say this is like, you're better off winning the lottery if you're listening to this right now than this happening to you, most likely.
Right.
She's saying, at first, if people approach you, their labels, they're going to approach you with lower money than you're worth. And that's when she goes, Scooter Braun offered me $400,000. I signed for a couple months later for well over $1 million. I mean, anyone listening to this, if someone came up to you with $400,000 and said, sign, here you go, you make money if we make it back, most of you are going to say, cool. Because what the label is doing is taking on the risk, right? You have to be in a special spot to actually say, like she's saying, what'd she say here? Hold out as long as you possibly can, even though I don't think you should sign at all. I mean, it's easy for her to say at this point, like you were saying. She has $1 million. Right. She just said she signed for $1 million. And well over $1 million she signed for. Okay. Odds are she's tweeting all of this because she's upset about not being allowed to release a song or do something she wanted to do. And she wishes she was independent because of that, not because of $1 million.
Right.
Most likely, like, she's not saying I wasn't paid enough. She's just saying they stopped me from doing things I want to do, is kind of what the rest of this thing is like. Yeah. Just stay in touch with who you are and why you are making music.
Yeah.
So it sounds political.
Yeah.
If someone came to one of our listeners and offered $400,000, even $100,000 up front, unless you're making money off your music business, like you're making a few grand a month just consistently, you have every right to take that money. And you're going to take the money with all knowledge that the label is taking all the risk on you.
Yeah.
Labels aren't coming in trying to screw you like you're saying. Like, labels aren't going to offer you $100,000 if you're making $10,000 a month. Because they're like, well, you'd make more than that. Like, we'll give you $400,000, $500,000, $1 million if you're already making 10 grand a month, because it's worth it. It's kind of like people selling their catalogs right now. People are selling all their music catalogs because you get the money up front. You don't have the risk. Yes, a label's going to make money off of you later, but you already have your money.
Right. Probably you after don't have to worry die. Yeah, because they're holding on. They're buying, Bob Dylan's catalog that hypothetically humans are going to be listening to for the next 200 years. And Bob Dylan's never going to see that money anyway. Like, screw it. He'll take the $300 million now. I agree with her premise. Don't rush to a record deal. You don't need new music all the fucking time just because. Be intentional with what you're doing. Don't just wing it because. We hear topics about they're not going to give you what you're worth right away. Okay. Is that exclusive to music? That's every business. If some guy's looking to invest, they're like, oh shit, well, hey, right now I think you're worth what someone will pay for. That doesn't necessarily mean that person gave you what you're worth.
They're giving you what you're worth at that time.
They think they're giving you what they think you're worth.
At that moment, not in 10 years.
Right. And so, let's compare it to, the thing is, in some way, it's like buying a rookie Mickey Mantle baseball card. Someone somewhere will buy that for $2 million. Does it have any sort of functional use that it's worth $2 million? Or is that just the amount that someone will pay for it? It's not like, oh, Scooter Braun's a cheap fucking ass, fuck him. Like, what if this girl at the time had 20,000 monthly listeners and was more or less a nobody, and he was like, hey, I really believe in you. I want to do this hypothetically. I'll give you a bunch of money up front. And then 8 months later, her business grows and grows and grows and she gets $1 million. And she's trying to paint, this guy's an asshole. It didn't give me what I'm worth. You don't get all the details.
Independent artists in general, like to act like the labels are the bad guy until they get offered the deal. They get offered a deal, they sign, they'll act fine with it until they have one disagreement and they realize that a label is a business and they're operating a certain way and have the rights to restrict you. Then everything goes back to the label's an asshole. I'm not going to give you back my $1 million to go be independent. But you guys, I can't believe you're stopping me from doing what I want to do. Labels are businesses.
Yes.
They they're not offering money not based off of data and math.
Mhm.
Everything, they're not just going to a bar, listening to open mic and going, that person's worth $555,068. They're not doing that. She likely had an audience. I'm guessing just
Obviously.
off of experience, I'm guessing Scooter Braun offered her about 2 years worth of money upfront for what she was making at the time, if not more, or what he thought he could make her, with the thought process of she will recoup and then make more. And I wouldn't be surprised if his split was better than what she ended up signing, because there was less risk. If he's offering 400,000, giving you 50-50, and then Warner comes in with $1 million and goes 80-20, would you rather have 30% more and take less up front? So it's exactly what you're saying. We don't have all the details. We don't
Right.
know.